The village of Obins had a way of swallowing pain. By day, it was alive with laughter, markets, and the scent of roasted corn. But at night, behind mud walls and closed doors, stories lived that no one dared to tell. Ada was one of those stories. She came to live with her uncle after her parents died in a road accident. At first, people said she was lucky, better than the streets, they whispered. But luck can wear a cruel face. Her uncle was silent and distant, a man who looked through her as though she were smoke. His wife, Mama Uju, carried bitterness like a second skin. And their children, sharp-tongued and merciless, learned early that Ada was beneath them. She woke before the first cockcrow, sweeping the compound in darkness. She fetched water until her arms trembled, cooked meals she barely tasted, and endured insults that stung deeper than any slap. "You are nothing," Mama Uju would say. "Just a burden your parents left behind." Sometimes, late at night, Ada would sit by the cracked window, staring at the moon. It was the only thing that felt constant, the only thing that didn't judge her. She walked without direction, barefoot, into the forest beyond the village, a place elders warned children never to enter. But pain makes you fearless. Deep within the forest stood an ancient shrine, half swallowed by vines and time. The air there was heavy, alive with something unseen. Ada collapsed before it. "I don't want to die," she cried, her voice breaking into the silence. "But I don't want to live like this anymore." The wind stirred. Leaves rustled though no storm had come. And then, the earth itself seemed to breathe. From the shadows emerged a presence, vast, ancient, and terrible. Not fully seen, yet impossible to ignore. The air shimmered, thick with power. A voice followed. Not heard with ears, but felt in the bones. "Child of sorrow, you have called." Ada trembled. Who are you?" "I am the keeper of justice forgotten." The voice that answers when the world refuses to listen. The spirit of vengeance. An old deity, long abandoned by people who chose comfort over truth. But such beings never truly disappear, they wait. Ada's voice shook. "Will you help me?" Silence fell, heavy and deliberate. Justice has a price. The next morning, Ada returned home. Something had changed. She was quiet, as always. Obedient, as always. But her eyes were different. Watching. Waiting. That same day, strange things began to happen. Mama Uju's voice, once sharp and commanding, began to fail her whenever she tried to insult Ada. Words would twist in her mouth, coming out as confessions instead. "I hate you because you remind me of what I never had, love." She blurted in front of neighbors, before clapping her hands over her mouth in horror. The children, who once mocked Ada freely, found themselves revealing their cruelties aloud without control. "We locked her outside in the rain," one shouted during a gathering, then froze in terror. Even the uncle, silent as stone, could no longer hide. At a village meeting, as elders discussed discipline and family honor, he stood suddenly. "I knew," he said, voice shaking. "I saw everything, and did nothing." The compound fell into stunned silence. Truth, once buried, now walked freely. Days turned into weeks. The family's reputation crumbled. Whispers turned into accusations. Accusations turned into judgment. They were not struck by lightning. They were not swallowed by the earth. As for Ada, the marks on her skin faded slowly, like dying embers. One evening, she returned to the forest shrine. "Thank you," she whispered. The wind stirred gently. "What was done was not vengeance," the voice echoed softly. "It was balance." Ada nodded, tears in her eyes, but this time they were not from pain. "They see me now," she said. "No," the deity replied. "Now, you see yourself." The presence faded, returning to the silence from which it came. And for the first time in a long while, Ada walked back toward the village, not as a shadow,